Terra Art Foundation exists since 1978. Can you tell us something about the background of the founder, Mr. Daniel Terra, who lived from 1911 until 1996, and his intentions with the foundation?
Yes, so Daniel Terra was born in Pennsylvania. He was the son of Italian immigrants and actually studied chemistry in Pennsylvania and followed in the footsteps of his grandfather and his father. They were in the printing business when he acquired a patent for a chemical that made fast dry ink possible. And this invention or this patent then made magazines like Life magazine possible. What he did then was he founded his own company, Lauder Chemicals.
Right.
Became a global company, went public as well, and then he began collecting American art. He made his fortune obviously in this way, but he turned that into a passion for American art. And when he founded the foundation in '78,
Right.
it was with the intention of being able to show his collection, show original works of art around the world, show his passion for America and American culture through the lens of American art.
Right. And why was he specifically collecting American art? What made him go towards that?
Beyond his patriotism,
Yeah,
he was patriotic, we'll have to say. But he started collecting with Adeline, his first wife. He did begin collecting European and French. I mean, English and French actually originally. He used to say that he had the courage to buy, but she had the great eye.
Right.
So
that's beautiful.
he started with her, but again, European art mainly, but then saw some collections in New York of American art, 18th and 19th century American art, the Horowitz collection in particular, and really started to gravitate towards telling the story of America's culture through art. He felt that American art before World War II was underappreciated and under-recognized and not well known, and fell in love with it.
Right.
Started collecting it avidly, and so 1971 he bought his first two paintings with his wife of John Singer Sargent. It was preparatory sketches for a later work, and he actually ended up chasing the other Sargents for the rest of his life. There were four Sargents.
Right.
He only got two that first time, and in his last year of his life, he finally acquired the fourth.
And can you give us an idea which artists are represented in the collection?
Certainly. So we have the collection, as I said, spans about 250 years. So colonial art, it does go all the way up to 1980. But we have works from artists from the Hudson River School, like Thomas Cole. We have Frederick Church.
Right.
Some artists that are really well known, we feel, like Winslow Homer or Edward Hopper.
Right.
Mary Cassatt. We have a concentration of Impressionist works. We are still acquiring art, absolutely, and part of that is to keep the collection alive.
Right.
Dan Terra loved collecting.
Oh, right.
And he actually left as part of the foundation an endowment to continue acquiring and to continue caring for the collection. So we do look sometimes to artists that we don't have currently in the collection, but we also look to just add richness to the collection to tell a broader story.
Right. There is an important historical link with the Terra Foundation in France, notably in Giverny, where Monet had his gardens, resulting in the Musée d'Art Américain Giverny. How did that come about?
Well, Daniel Terra was named the ambassador for cultural affairs under President Reagan, and was in Paris then for part of that time. Went to Giverny, and it makes sense because of the fact that Giverny was also a place where a lot of cross-cultural dialogue had occurred. A lot of Americans had obviously gone there to paint along with Monet, and I think he was inspired by that idea and decided to open a museum and build a museum in Giverny, France, which he did in 1992, the Musée d'Art Américain Giverny, which operated until 2008 as such. So we have had a long-term link with France, which continues today, as we have an office in Paris that continues to work on our European agenda, but also a more global global work as well. We found that our activity in Europe was really expanding quite rapidly. We have a library as well as a center for conferences. And we actually needed more space. And we were so fortunate that at that time, the Fondation Custodia was looking for a potential partner, a tenant, to move into their space. And in many ways, this complemented our mission to once again be in dialogue with another culture's heritage, to be able to integrate our library into their library, which is an expansive 150,000 volume library on the history of art, really offering researchers a lot more opportunity to look at, again, our materials in relation to their materials. They also have a wonderful exhibition space.
Right.
So while we won't be programming that continuously, it does offer the opportunity for American art projects to come into this space. And I think that we felt as though these two organizations have such a strong, two organizations like this having such a strong artistic bent, there could be nothing but good that comes out of the two of these organizations working together.